Feature artist J. Sultan Ali, Ambadas, K.H. Ara, S.K. Bakre, Manjit Bawa, N.S. Bendre, Vikash Bhattacharjee, Shakti Burman, Avinash Chandra, Jogan Chaudhary, Sunil Das, Pradosh Das Gupta, Dharmanarayan Das Gupta, K. Lakshman Gaud, K.K. Hebbar, M.F. Hussain, George Kate, Krishan Khanna, Ram Kumar, Anjuli Ella Menon, Rabin Bondor, Akbar Padmasi, Lakshman Pai, B. Prabha, Soham Kadri, S.S. Raza, P.T. Reddy, G.R. Santosh, Himmat Shah, F.N. Souza. J. Sultan Ali, 1920 to 19. Born into Bombay-based business family, Sultan Ali's first act of rebellion was to leave the safety of the family trade and join sculptor teacher D.P. Roy Chaudhary in Madras to learn art. After learning in painting, textile designs, and photography, Ali learned not only the strict discipline of classical art but also engaged along with other artists in an intense search for modern Indian items. Sultan Ali's determination to become more Indian arose from deep conviction that much of modern European art was formalistic and cold. In search of his own style, he discovered Indian tribal art and was struck by its freshness and directness. Further inspiration came from reading the work of Valier Alvin on culture that used symbols in fresh way, distant from the established norm of classical art. Excited by his reading, Ali engaged in communication with the Bastar tribal community, and from then on the artist began perfecting this newly found style. Sultan Ali drew inspiration from Hindu mythology, studying deeply in the complexity of popular worship, narrative, and iconography, in particular, studying the technique of folk artists. His Naga Panchika and Ganesh series were are manifestation of the face. Further search for new imagery had him turn to calligraphic symbol of words and sound to convey their philosophical depth. Critics have often viewed Ali works as primitive and grotesque, described them as expressionist. Ali joined the Progressive Painter Association Madras in 1954 and taught art at Rishi Valley School in the early 1950s. He was honored with Lalit Kala Akademi National Award in 1966 and 1978. Naga Panchami Oil on Canvas 1973, 68.5 multiplied by 11.97, 174 multiplied by 304 centimeter. Signed in Hindi, English lower left. Ali, Sultan Ali 73 and inscribed in Hindi, Nag Panchami. Ambadas 1922 2004. Born in Akola, Maharashtra, Ambadas grew up close to Mahatma Gandhi extended family. His subaltern origin and frugal living, Gandhian values, and higher ideal all shaped his personality into complex one, with a clash of material and spiritual need making him strive for a higher purpose in life. After matriculation, Ambadas received training at a private art school in Ahmedabad in 1952 along with classmate Tayyab Mehta, Akbar Padmasi, Mohan Samant. He completed his diploma from Sir J. School of Arts, Bombay. Employment as a handlooms textiles designers at the government-run Weaver Service Center made him shift from Bombay to Madras and then to the New Delhi. It was here that he met like-minded artists, including J. Swaminathan, Rajesh Mehra, Himmat Shah, with whom in 1962 he formed the artist group 1890. This artist questioned existing art scenario and contemplated the ideology shift necessary for modern Indian art. Both though criticism and overcreation, however, the association did not last long. Disintegration soon after the group's first and only exhibition. Before the shift to Norway, where he lived since 1972, Ambadas traveled on a scholarship to USA and Germany. Ambadas pioneered non-representation tendency in post-independent Indian art, in which color plays a significant role in with its character and mode of application. He exhibited numerous national and international exhibitions and his painting formed part of collections all over the world, including NGMA in New Delhi and Ben and Abby Gray Foundation USA. On Untitled Oil on Canvas 1971, 59.5 multiplied 36 in 151.1 multiplied 91.4 centimeter. Signed in Indian, dated in English, lower right, Ambadas 1971. Ambadas 1971. K.H. Ara. K.H. Ara, 1940 to 85. A founder member of Progressive Artist Group, K.H. Ara evolved his trademark style, especially his robust nudes and still painting that are ineffably marked by a life-affirming zeitgeist. A self-taught artist who was born into penury and imprisoned for participating in Mahatma Gandhi's Salt Satyagraha movement. Ara became an exemplar of modern artists who pursued and practiced art in spite of the adverse circumstances of his life in Bombay. Ara had his own take and art practice. He neither wished to shock the viewer with raw as F.N. Souza, nor revisit folk art in the manner of M.F. Hussain. At a formal level, Ara transformed an act of state reportage on everyday life into potentially sensuous communications. He was a modernist for whom the form of language and of art pursued all other social and political motivation. His art was intuitive, spontaneous, and improvised, and not deliberate intellectual intent on fine expressions. This evolved certain eclecticisms in his work, which was neither imitative nor derivative, but led him in an exploration of style on a kind of rambling journey more discovery than search. K.H.R. won several awards in his lifetime, beginning with annual prize of the Bombay Art Society, Governor Prize, and an award from UNESCO all before independence. He was founder and secretary of Artist Aid Center and trustee of Jahangir Art Gallery, both in Mumbai, and was both fellow and general council member of Lalit Kala Academy, New Delhi. Untitled on oil on canvas 35 multiplied by 28 88.9 71.12 sign in English lower right ARA. Untitled watercolor and tempera on paper 29.2 20.2 74.1 51.3 centimeters sign in English lower right ARA KHR. S.K. Bhakre. Born in Vadodara, Gujarat, Sadanandji Krishnaji Bhakre was one of the founder members of the progressive artist groups in Bombay. The group was geared towards cultivating contemporary language in art that related to the significance of its time. Arriving in Bombay, 1929, Bhakre obtained a diploma in modeling and stone carving from Sir J.J. School of Art. Like some of his contemporaries, his talents as sculptor and painter were recognized equally. Ruud van Leyden introduced him to the modernist movement in America and Europe and provided him with criticism acting as a catalyst for his art. Bhakre and F.N. Souza founded the Progressive Artists Group 1947, subsequent expanded upon by acknowledged masters like S.H. Raza, H.K. Gade and M.F. Hussain. Dissatisfied with contemporary art scene in the 1960s, Bhakre left for London to pursue his artist interest. He potentialized the human form by transforming it into a novel puzzle with distortion, fragmentation, and partial illumination. His canvases are prominently executed in sculptural manner depicting geometrical grids and abstracted forms into two-dimensional pattern. The bold, bright, and vivid colors are used to highlight the contrast of straight and curved line, creating a sculpture effect. The artist's preoccupation with abstraction was inspired by Paul Klee lyricisms and Picasso's restructuring of form. Even a student, Even as a student, Bhakre was much feted and recognized artist. He received a scholarship during his art study at Sir J.J. School of Art, won the first prize for sculpture from Bombay Art Society in 1942, and a Lord Hardinge Scholarship in 1944. Bow and Arrow, White Matter 1959, 24.2 multiplied 13 multiplied 6.5 inch, 61.4 multiplied 33 multiplied 16.5 centimeter, dated in 1959. Untitled book, Wood, Iron, Steel and Copper, 33.7 multiplied 40 multiplied 7.7 inch, 85.6 35.6 19.6 centimeter. Manjit Bawa 1941-2008. Born in Dhuri, Punjab, Manjit Bawa studied at Delhi Polytechnic from 1958 to 64 under eminent artist teacher Somnath Hore, Dhanraj Bhagat, and B.C. Sanyal. He then lived in England from 1964 to 71 as a self screen printer and studied painting upon his return. He taught at Delhi College of Art from 1975 to 77 and began the discovery of his painter identity. Not wishing to paint in Europe derived style, he began exploring Indian mythology, folk tales, and love legend for themes. Sufi poetry, spirituality music inspired his signature rounded forms that were suspended against flat ground. His Indian themes also suggested his vibrant, lively color palettes of red, orange, yellow, green, and intense blues. Nature's birds and animals occur frequently in his work, along with the motif of the flute that suggested the flute playing legendary figures of Krishna and Ranjha, around whom were woven stories of romantic and bhakti love. Establishing a silk-screen workshop at Gari Studio, Lalit Kala Akademi in New Delhi, Manjit Bawa achieved in his paint the same luminescence color of his painting. In the 1984 anti-Sikh riots in Delhi saw him organize peace marches and participate in several anti-communal projects with fellow artists and writers. Manjit Baba was awarded as the first Bharat Bhava Biennial at Mumbai 1986 and received the 1980 Lalit Kala Akademi National Award. He passed away after a long illness in 2008. Oil on canvas 2055.2 meter 65.2 inch 140.3 165.7 centimeter verso signed and dated in English Manjit Bawa 2000. N.S. Bendre 1910-92. Born in Indore, N.S. Bendre studied art under Didi Devlalikar at Chitrakala Mandir and obtained his diploma in painting from School of Art, Indore. In 1940, he moved to Madras to work as the art director of a production company. In 1947, he toured USA under sponsorship of Philadelphia-based Federation of American Artists, learning graphics art under Almin Landek at the Art Student League in New York. He returned to join at the first reader and head of Department of Painting at MS University Baroda from 1950 to 59. His work are widely known for distant cubism that fit neither within the synthetic nor analytic cubism of European modernism, but the influence of Western modernism is in his work became apparent about 2 decades into his career. This started with impressionistic quality of his pastoral landscape in the 1940s. His reading of Cubism in the mix 1950 up until his work were characterized by a focus on the human form and expressionistic brushwork that were keyed into mood of the painting. Bendre is known for his influential role in the formation of the Baroda groups of artists in 1956. In the founding of Lalit Kala Akademi, New Delhi, he was a member of the Government of Indian First Cultural Delegation to China in 1952 and of Honor to Japan 1963. He was honored with the Padma Shri 1969 and Padma Bhushan 1991, a year before he passed away. N.S. Bendre. Untitled Mother and Child, oil on canvas, 3620 in 91.4, 50.8 centimeters. Signed in Hindi, lower at Bendre. Bendre. Cubisms. Distortion, fragmentation, partial elimination. Vikas Bhattacharya ji, 1940 to 2006. Born into middle-class Bengali family, Vikas Bhattacharya ji went on to become prolific into an art style that was simultaneously traditional as well as realist. His subject consists of portraits of people from different walks of life. He gathered his visual and intellectual ideas from poetical charged atmosphere of Calcutta of the 1940s. Once his family had settled there, like a lot of his contemporaries, he was sympathetic to the principal and objective of Communist Party, sharing their cultural values. But his highly individualized perception and interpretation of the world differ from imaginary representing either political leader or the suffering proletariat. Bhattacharya's character came through in his work as more than just representative of their class, imprinted instead as individual each with a well-edged subjectivity. His work from the end of the 1960s up to the mid-1970s was marked by a series of surreal paintings with the subtext of demonic or subhumaning in the setting of either dark fantasy or farce. The Doll series, conceived in 1971, was the artist's emotional response to the traumatic experience of violence that erupted across the Calcutta at the time. The allegorical vision of subverted feminine in his portrait of middle-class woman or woman with was an abiding subject to the theme of his work. His painting reflect an older Calcutta scene in the background, painted by him as landscape as a young artist. Because Bhattacharya was widely awarded in life by Academy of Fine Art Calcutta 1962, Lalit Kala Akademi National Award 1971, Bengal Ratna from the state government in 1987, Padma Shri by Government of India in 1988 in his office, acrylic on canvas 39.9 multiple 40 101.95 or 101.6. Sign and data English. Lower left Bikash 82. Bikash. Bikash Bhattacharya. The scene in front of you is a part of larger one. You know something that has just happened and that there is more to follow. Untitled oil on canvas. 44.7, 54.7 inch. 116.1, 116.1 centimeters. Sign and dated English. Low left Vikash 94.